Hey folks, today is December 9th, 2022. I'm nobody, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about people that trigger you, people or things that trigger you. It turns out that these are actually a blessing in disguise. Why do I say that? Well, when you get triggered, that means that there's something going on that's causing you to have fear or pain or some emotional reaction to whatever a person has done or said, or maybe it's just a situation that you're in that really bothers you. And a trigger would be where there's emotional content attached to some kind of event. And maybe it's because you're expecting a certain outcome that didn't occur, or you are expecting not to have an outcome that did occur. So in my case, recently I had been triggered by something that somebody did not do. And it just brought up some feelings inside of me. And I realized, well, holy cow, this is good because it's allowing me to experience that feeling that I need to resolve. So that person has only, whatever it was that person did or didn't do, is triggering something that's inside of me that probably was a remnant of my childhood. And so basically what I did at that point is said, okay, well, what is this feeling? And we can put labels on it, maybe anger, sadness, guilt, loneliness, whatever it is, rage. And it may be an anxiety, whatever. But the thing is that what ends up happening is that feeling, whatever we label, we put on it, creates some kind of sensation in the body. So in my case, I was feeling a discomfort inside just to the left side of my solar plexus. And it was this certain sensation, and I felt it many times before in the past. And so I decided, okay, I need to figure out how to just feel into this sensation and relax, and then let it have its course and then dissipate. And so that's what I did. And a great feeling of peace came over me as I did that. It took several minutes. And in fact, I kept going back and testing it to think back to the incident, look at other scenarios that might cause that certain feeling to come up, and then allow the feeling in different scenarios to come up, and then just allow it to be there without judging it, without labeling it, because the sensations themselves don't really associate with a particular emotion necessarily, although there might be an emotion that you associate with it. You can have the sensation in the body based on multiple different emotions sometimes. But what I did is allowed that feeling to be and just breathed into it. And what I noticed that as I sat with the feeling, just let it be, that eventually I would either have this feeling of taking a deep breath. It just was this spontaneous desire to take a deep breath and just let it go. And so, and what's interesting is that sometimes when you take that breath, you'll notice that you can take a deep, satisfying breath, and in other times, it isn't. It's not as deep as you would think you want it to be, which means that there's probably some pressure, some resistance that's keeping you from totally releasing that sensation, that feeling. And that means that there's probably some other aspects to it to bring up and allow yourself to sit with, so that you can actually then spontaneously feel that you need to take this breath. And sometimes it's a yawn. I've noticed that I've had to yawn sometimes, and it was just kind of weird, it's like, okay. But this deep breath, and you take it, and when you do, you'll feel this relief, like you've been able to take this deep breath and just let it go. And you may have to do that multiple times, but then a peaceful feeling comes over you. At least that's what happened to me. Anyway, so this is a little exercise you can do if you feel triggered by some person having done something, not done something. Maybe you feel a reaction to a particular thing that happened, like maybe you were cut off in traffic, maybe maybe somebody didn't win the soccer game that you expected, and it brings up this anger, this whatever the feeling is, you know, that creates sensations within your body. And then go from the feeling, whatever it is that you'd put a label on that feeling, and just go right into the sensations in the body and just sit with those sensations and ask yourself, where does this come from? You may even be able to relate to the first time that you actually felt that, and it may take you back to a time in your childhood or, you know, early adolescence or something like that, and then you can just sit with that feeling and let it be without judging it, allowing it to be, feeling into it, and then just letting it dissipate. So that's my little tidbit for today. Hope that exercise is useful to you. Ciao.